With argument and persuasion, and the video in particular, is where you really bring out those skills. We studied some things such as satire, and some of the people that made their videos, they really focused on making things as absurd as possible. And it was really effective because it gave them a vehicle of humor that connects to their audience in a really specific way.
Well, creating a PSA is something that you use not only to inform people, but also make them want to get up and take action for some desired cause.
And that's what we've been more or less doing this entire year in our writing, trying to persuade people to entertain some sort of belief. And in doing that, we employ a lot of the same vehicles, a lot of the same devices in writing that we did in this video.
I think that it really ties together everything that we've been learning in class, and it really makes you think that these techniques, they really apply to the real world.
Well, I had to use my argument skills to show people that something that was important to me should also be important to them.
Well, the point of a PSA is to persuade someone to take action or to do something in the community, so it's sort of a hands-on way for us to persuade people about things that we actually care about.
When you make a PSA, you have to really make an impact on the viewers, and they have to understand what you're talking about and why you're talking about it. And I feel like it's necessary that someone has to make sure that what you're saying is relevant, and you have to make sure that the people really connect with what you're talking about.
I chose literacy.
Video game addiction.
Living a healthy lifestyle.
Federal debt.
Pool safety.
Drunk driving.
Keeping Kentucky's water clean. I chose it because I think that the Kentucky Waterways Alliance has done a lot of great work in the past 20 years, and not a lot of people pay attention to it, and I wanted to draw attention to a worthy cause.
It was such a great part of my childhood, and I know that it's something that a lot of kids aren't getting as much nowadays, and I really wanted to just reach out and spread the word about that.
Personally, I've had some friends that have spent a lot of time playing way too many video games instead of doing things that they could have been doing that are much more productive, such as the arts or math or whatever the case may be. And sometimes video games can just come to rule your life.
As I believe it's something that's being neglected by many people.
It's a very critical issue for the youth of today, because right now as it stands, it's $15 trillion and our nation has no way of paying it off. And one day we will have to pay it off. And you look over at European countries like Greece, and you see the mounting crisis that's being caused by their mounting debt. And you see that the way that, it is imperative that we must deal with it today if we aren't to encounter the problems that they encounter over there.
I love to go to the pool, but sometimes it can end up badly, even though you think it's really not that big of a deal.
Since there are so many people now who are driving in my class, I kind of feel like, you know what, there are a lot of people who might make mistakes, so we kind of need to make sure that we know more about what we're doing.
I sat down with a storyboard and I drew out my set and who I wanted in every shot, and I wrote a script for each actor in my PSA, so I knew exactly what they would say and where they would be.
I made a storyboard based on the people that I thought would be good to be in my video, and then I asked them to come up with some things to say.
It really kind of just starts in your mind.
I took a blank piece of paper and I created kind of in words first of colors, noises, sounds, scenes, different things that I had in my mind, and just kind of wrote them all down so I didn't forget anything.
Put little doodles on my storyboard.
Well, I took my 4 main points that I was going to use, like the main pool rules that I could think of, and basically just storyboarded those.
Well, I did do a lot of prior planning, but I didn't do it in a formal sort of setting. I didn't write out storyboards or draw up anything. I rather had a mental image of what I wanted to do, a story I wanted to tell. And I think that's one way my PSA was different than everyone else's.
It's important that you have a general idea of what you're doing, but you're also flexible as in where it can go. Because mine, originally I thought it was going to be sort of funny and satirical, but it ended up having a way more serious overtone, especially at the very end.
I really enjoyed filming and seeing my final product, because the process from sitting down with my digital camera to seeing my final project on the big screen and all my ideas coming to life was really exciting.
Was all the difficulty involved. You think that you can just grab a camera and do it all in about an hour, but really it takes more like 2 days.
I really liked working with the people that I know, getting them together, and just seeing my idea come into a real life.
My favorite part would probably be able to see my ideas come to life before me and be able to see them in my head transform to this big screen.
It's kind of fun to do things in front of a camera and then to go back and edit it and take the things that you mess up on and you can just improve them like that. So it's nice to be able to fix your mistakes.
I really liked being able to position people and tell them where I needed them to be, because I like to be in charge.
It really taught me to reach out to the viewer, really keep that person in mind. What do they want to see? What do they want to hear? And then mix that with what I want to show them.
Well, I had to explain my ideas to people who presumably knew nothing about my topic or any of the organizations that I was talking about. So I had to be very clear and I had to be very explanatory without boring my audience.
I think it really helps you learn how the audience perceives an idea that you're trying to get out to them. It lets you know what the people are trying to think and what they react to.
Well, it definitely made me realize all of the conscious decisions you have to make as a director, and as a consumer you can see those as you're watching and make sure you don't fall for all their traps necessarily.
For all the devices that are used in video are the ones that are used in writing. And the more kinds of persuasion that you learn how to effectively utilize, whether it be in text or in writing or in video, I think the more well-informed you are and the more capable you are of, dissecting an argument and seeing what an individual truly wants you to believe.
It helped me understand what advertisers have to go through and put into their work.
I think now that I've gone through the process of fiddling with the software and working on a video, every time I watch someone else's, I'm able to analyze how they did it and appreciate the art more, because everyone thinks that it's really easy and that it's just slapping together stuff on a computer, but it's a lot more difficult than it looks.
It's another form of communication. So being able to use a video is just another form of media, so it's another thing to add to your repertoire.
How to get out an idea in the smallest amount of words possible and make it most effective.
When the assignment was first assigned to us, I was really skeptical about what necessarily a video project had to do with the English class, because you're not writing and you're not reading, you're just making a video. It seemed a lot more technologically inclined.
The video in the PSA project really gives you the opportunity to learn by doing. There's only a certain amount that you can learn by reading and stuff. You have to actually get out there and do the project, which is what I learned the most from the project.
But as I went along and really did it, I saw, all the choices you have to make, in the production of a film.
Anytime you give students a chance to do something that they love and use their creativity and their own ideas, I think that it's really good.
I think it was a great way for us to apply everything we've learned throughout the year, and it was a great culminating project.
More of a creative project than anything else, and I feel like a lot of people need to take this opportunity to do one, because it gives you not only free reign on what you want to talk about, but also kind of gives you free reign on what you want to do with your own ideas.
Yeah, I was really grateful for that opportunity because it helped me master, a new field that I hadn't understood. So in doing this video, I saw the ways that camera angles are manipulated, all the ways that color, lighting play into the way that a video is perceived. And it really hit me hard that, a writer does the same in, his word choice and his diction, in syntax, in the rhetorical devices that he employs, that a film artist would in making a video. So I think they go one and all the same. An argument's an argument, whether it's visual or in a text. So despite the fact that I was initially skeptical about, the validity of this assignment, in the end, I really enjoyed it. And I found that I learned a lot about persuasion and all the choices you have to make.